Are you telling me that I'm caught in the middle of fan fucking fiction?
Hello, everybody. I'm John,
I'm Justin.
and we are the Gore
Goblins.
This is our show where we talk about movies we like,
Some we don't.
and some we've never heard of before. And
Yeah.
forgive me if there's a little background noise. I had to get a new air conditioner, and it is
And it's raining.
and it's raining, and the air conditioner is significantly louder than my last one. So
It's okay.
hey, it'd be like that sometimes. But today, we're talking about the whole reason I wanted to do this series. We're talking about Scream 5 or just Scream 2022. This is it obviously came out in 2022. This movie, let me tell you a little story, okay? Picture this: you're going to it's post-COVID, right? You finally able to go back to the movies. It's 2021. Justin dropped his phone. It's 2021. You're starting to go back to the movies again, and before every single fucking movie. And I mean every single fucking movie. I see the fucking trailer for this fucking movie every goddamn time. Every goddamn time I go to the movies, I see this trailer. I like have that shit burned into my brain because I saw it so often. And I was like, oh, whatever, they're doing another Scream. But eventually it got to me where I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll watch them, right? So I bought all of them on Blu-ray. I didn't see this one in theaters, but I bought it on Blu-ray when it came out, and I watched all of them. And by the time I got to this one, I was like, let me see if I even like this one. Let me tell you, up until Scream 6, which on rewatch, I don't know how much I'll like it on rewatch, but this is probably my favorite sequel. It's
a requel.
It's well, yeah. I was gonna say, I the way I feel about this is how I feel about Halloween 2018. Like, where it's like, I love the original, and here's like the original, but with some tweaks that make it more modern, and I think it handles the commentary on like requels and shit way better than Scream 4 does. Way more than Scream 4 like handles remakes and shit.
But not as good as Halloween.
Well, yeah, obviously. Like I think overall I like Halloween more, but no, yeah, this is like that same level. Although it's funny because they reference Halloween in this one multiple times. But yeah, so this one, when I got to this one, I was like, okay, this is actually real fucking good. I did not expect to like this movie as much as I did when I watched it initially. I've watched it. It's the sequel that I always go back to. In doing this series, though, I found that, like, yeah, Scream 2 is pretty good. I like Scream 2 more than I remember liking it. Still like Scream 3. Scream 4 is still, but Scream 5 is my favorite of the sequels, probably. That's to be seen when we cover Scream 6. But yeah, what did you think, Justin?
It was the most I enjoyed one of the movies so far.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
I mean, I liked the first one, but I had already seen bits and pieces of it before I fully watched it. So I knew what to expect with that one. And the others were just kind of there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate them, but I'm not rushing back to watch them.
See, but you like Scream 2 more than the first one, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this one, just the step up in brutality of the kills and overall all likable characters for the most part.
Yeah, the only character I think I really didn't care about was Liv. So
yeah, she seems kind of stupid.
Mason Gooding Jr.'s girlfriend, Chad, that's his fucking name. Literally Chad, that's right. I forgot. That's a plot point in the next movie. But yeah, no, because that's the thing too, is like you always take a risk when you're like updating something on making the new characters likable, and like that's where I felt Scream 4 kind of faltered too, because I didn't really give a shit about any of the new characters, like at all. I know everybody likes Jill, but I don't really care. But also the original 3 were kind of still in the forefront in Scream 4, whereas Scream 5 they take a much more of a backseat. And that's what I like about it, too, is that it really lets these new characters kind of breathe.
That's exactly why fucking all the characters in the new Halloween trilogy worked.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I guess we'll give you, like Justin said, this one's a lot more brutal. I think this is where Ghostface really kind of kicks it up a notch, but it kind of fits in with the theme too because, well, we'll get to that.
But even his victims kick it up a notch. Fucking Tara in the beginning.
Yeah, so that's what
shit out of
so
him.
that's what we'll do is we'll talk about all that shit. So the movie starts with a phone call, of course, like literally just like all the others.
No, it starts with texting, then phone call.
Okay, but the phone rings first, and then she ignores it.
Ring, ring, banana phone.
And it's Jenna Ortega as Tara, and she's texting her friend Amber.
I want to challenge Jenna Ortega to a spicy food eating contest.
Wasn't she already on Hot Ones?
Yes, that's why I want to challenge her.
What, did she not
Because
falter?
she didn't fucking flinch to anything.
Damn, that's how you know she's Mexican, baby. That's how you know. That's how you know, because I wouldn't really flinch either, I don't think. Because, well, some of those made me flinch, actually. I have tried the bomb. That shit made me want to die.
You got to try the bomb evolution.
I'm not going to. Anyway, so Jenna Ortega's here. She's texting Amber, talking about the landline going off. Eventually, she picks up the landline, and we hear our boy Roger Jackson as Ghostface again, sounding considerably older, but like he's still got that.
Yeah.
Like when he turns it on, it's still fucking like he hasn't missed a beat, and and so he's like, he introduces himself as like, oh, I'm a friend of your mom's from group, and then he's like, she says that you love movies, and especially scary movies, and like, what's your favorite? And Tara probably gives the most like fucking like Gen Z answer she can with the Babadook, I think. and he's like, what is that? And then she's like, well, it's like elevated horror, like it's horror, but it has like a meaning behind it, like Hereditary and
the emotions
and all the that kind of shit. And I think I remember reading a Letterboxd review that said like Tara deserved what she got for liking the Babadook so much.
God damn it.
Justin keeps dropping his phone, dude. That's what he does. That's why we love him. That's why we love him, folks.
It's new, so I shouldn't be dropping it.
How the fuck you got a new phone? What is it?
The Galaxy A15.
Nice.
It was $10.
Is it in a case?
No.
Wow. Fucking living life on the edge, huh?
You gotta live like Larry.
But yeah, so basically what happens is the usual Ghostface stuff. He starts fucking with her, and he gets her to a point where he starts asking her questions about Stab, which is the in-universe Scream, and just similarly to Casey Becker fucking up in the first movie by saying that the killer was Jason in Friday the 13th Part 1. Tara also fucks up by only naming Billy Loomis as the killer in Stab.
Dun dun dun.
And then he's like, that's not right. The killer is Billy Loomis and Stu Macher, and then she starts flipping out. There's that scene that I like that was also in the fucking trailer where she keeps trying to block the system and it keeps unlocking and locking and unlocking. And so the killer also, this is also a good point to make, where the killer says that he cloned Amber's phone. So that kind of adds a wrinkle into like who's who, like who's the killer later on in the movie, which I'm not going to spoil it yet. We'll get to that later. But yeah, so he's like, oh, it's not hard to clone a phone, whatever. And then Ghostface gets in. Or like she opens the door, Ghostface cuts her, right? Or does he doesn't stab her yet, right? He slashes her, she closes the door. That's when she tries to arm the system and call the cops or whatever. And then it keeps fucking up. And then he calls her again, and he's like, let's play another game, or I have one more question, like, do you think I got in before you could rearm the system? And then he fucking comes out and just, oh my god, dude, he fucks her up. Like she gets stabbed a bunch, she tries to kick him off, and then he fucking stomps her fucking leg and snaps her bone out. Which is already like, I remember seeing that in the trailer too, and I'm like, oh my god, but they don't.
She looked into the future and saw the trailer for Takeda and MK1, and she's like, I gotta live for this.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so then she breaks her.
Oh, speaking of that.
What?
Did you see they revealed the characters?
Yeah, Ghostface is going to be an MK1. And
yay.
T-1000, which I don't know how that's going to work.
This pack is just lazy to me. Like,
well, I like I'm glad Cyrax, Sector, and Noob are back. I don't care that they're
female
women.
versions.
I don't care that they're women. That's fine with me. I love a woman that can kill me. So I don't care about that. Conan's fine, I guess. I guess, but T-1000, I don't know how he's gonna work because he doesn't really bleed. Like that's.
I mean, neither did the other Terminator.
No, but the other Terminator was organic tissue over, like an endoskeleton. T-1000 is
They
pure
can
metal.
just do like they did back in the day with Sector and Cyrax, just make black shit fly out of him, or in this case, silver shit.
Probably gonna be silver shit, yeah. So that'll be interesting to see. And then Ghostface, which I wonder if it's gonna be.
Michael would have been a better choice.
Yeah, I think so. But I just wonder, like, if it's gonna be like an original character as Ghostface, or if it's gonna be like somebody from the franchise, or if it's gonna be a Mortal Kombat character as Ghostface, which would be kind of dumb. But I could see that happening. I guess we'll see. But then it's a new story expansion too, right? Chaos Reigns or whatever.
I think.
So that'll be fun to play through that again.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't lose steam like the original campaign did.
Yeah. That's the other thing too. It's funny because I was gonna pre-order it, but I'm gonna wait till I get paid. But I was looking at because I still have Tekken 8, and I'm like, man, I like Tekken, but like. I've always just been a Mortal Kombat guy. Like I don't like.
There's just something more satisfying about playing Mortal Kombat than Tekken.
Like I mean, Tekken's cool. I love the characters. I think the story is batshit fucking insane.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, and that's cool. Heihachi's back. What the what? He's been back. Like this is like the third time he's fucking died. Like whatever. It's cool. It's cool.
He's a Terminator.
But like more, I mean, but it's shit like that happens in Mortal Kombat too. But it's I don't know. Mortal Kombat just feels like punchier. I don't know, like it feels more impactful, I guess, and that's not just because of like the fatalities and shit, although that's obviously the draw.
Yeah.
But yeah, the combat just feels way more satisfying in Mortal Kombat to me for whatever reason. So I don't know, but so I uninstalled Tekken 8. I don't think I'm gonna trade it in because it's Tekken. Tekken's a childhood thing, so I'm gonna keep Tekken 8, but I just uninstalled it to make room for Mortal Kombat since I'm gonna be playing that in September. But yeah, Ghostface is going to be in Mortal Kombat 1, so the leaks from like 2 fucking years ago are true, which is kind of crazy because everybody was like, there's no way they're going to put fucking Ghostface in there. That's stupid. Well, Mortal Kombat has done stupider things. Like, I don't like...
Armageddon.
Yeah, come on, man. So, but anyway, yeah, speaking of Ghostface, he beats the fuck out of Tara. Stabs the fuck out of her, too, man. And then, the police siren, she's like crawling away. The police sirens are coming up. And then, Ghostface does his little slash. We get the title card. Classic Scream. Classic. Already just like, yeah, dude, I'm in.
They should have gave her a scar across her face.
Well, yeah.
I swear I saw an image of that somewhere.
You might have. I mean, it's funny because when I watched, she's an X and her face gets all fucked up in that, but it's not a scar. Like her face gets like blown away in X. What, Justin?
No.
Yeah? I'm gonna kill him after this.
Continue.
I'm gonna kill him after this. Did I what?
I said continue.
I'm gonna kill him. Anyway, so yeah. So yeah, then we cut to Sam Carpenter, played by Melissa Barrera, my beloved. And Jack Quaid, who's playing Richie, is her boyfriend.
He's still just Huey in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, he really is. He really is just fucking Huey in this movie. And he's also Huey in Tragedy Girls, which is another movie I dig a lot. But yeah, I mean, that's fine. I like Jack Quaid. So, but yeah, Sam used to live in Woodsboro, but she moved away because of some shit we'll talk about later. But yeah, so she gets a call from one of Tara's friends, Wes, very obviously named after Wes Craven. And
then they kill him, just like Wes Craven.
Well, I don't know if that's how Wes Craven died, but and they're like, yeah, Tara's been attacked. She's alive, but got real fucked up. And then Sam's like, okay, I'll be there. And then we get introduced to the new group of people. We got Amber, played by Mikey Madison, who I knew from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yep.
We got Wes, who's played by, I forget his name, but I know who he is.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy. We got Chad, who's played by Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son. And then we got Mindy, who's Jasmine Savoy Brown, who's also in Yellow Jackets. She's in The Leftovers. She's in Spider-Man Miles Morales. She's in a lot of shit. She's
literally.
Huh? What?
I said literally.
What? I'm gonna kill you. Anyway, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him because he's being mean.
No.
Wearing his Slipknot shirt and shorts, dressed up like fucking Beavis. Anyway, but yeah, so we get introduced to that new group of people. We see their dynamic. Wes has a crush on Tara. Whatever. I also forgot about Chad's girlfriend Liv, who is the weakest character of the new bunch, I think.
She just stands there.
Yeah, she really doesn't have a lot to do, so it's not really her fault. She just doesn't really have a lot to. They don't
All
really
you
give.
know about her is that she fucked around with some weird ass redneck dude
Played by Kyle Gallner.
who has a purple car.
Played by Kyle Gallner, who we last talked about in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, which is unfortunate, to say the least.
I'm glad I forgot about that.
Because he's been in better movies. He's also in Smile, I think. Have you seen Smile?
No, but it's getting a sequel, which I didn't expect.
Yeah, well, no, it made a lot of money. I was expecting that. I just didn't think it was going to get good reviews, and it did. That's what surprised me. But Kyle Gallner's also in that. But Kyle Gallner's great. Love Kyle Gallner. He's in this movie for like 5 minutes. So Chad points that out, makes a Hobbs and Shaw joke because he's Chad, and then we move on. Eventually, Sam and Richie make it to the hospital where they talk about Stab. Richie's never seen Stab. Sam gives him the lowdown on basically what's happened in the franchise for the last 4 movies. And then he's like, that sounds a lot like Halloween. And then she's like, okay, it's a little like Halloween, but like it's whatever. Like it's what it is. So they get there. Everybody gets introduced. Everything's cool for a little bit. Only for a little bit, though. There's also... I'm trying to remember when Kyle Gallner gets got. It's after the first hospital scene. That's right. So they have their first little hospital scene. Then all the new kids go out to the bar. So this is where Dewey was supposed to be introduced initially. Like, he was supposed to be a drunk at the bar, and that was supposed to be, like, his introduction, and he was going to kind of step in between Vince, I think, is Kyle Gallner's character's name, and Chad. And he was supposed to step in and be like, get the fuck out of here, and then that's when Vince gets, got. So, but what happens instead is Vince is just there, and he's, talking like a redneck with a purple car at Liv. So Chad and him get into a little spat, and then Vince goes outside taking a piss. Red Right Hand comes on his car. Classic Scream. Wasn't in the last one, but it's in this one. And then Kyle Gallner goes to his car, turns it off. Ghostface is behind him, just gives him a real quick stab in the neck. Real fucking quick, real precise, real brutal. He goes down, and it dies.
It's just like Michael killing his stepdad in Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, just real quick. So, good times. But yeah. So then we get Sam wakes up at the hospital with Tara. Richie's there too. It's just them because Tara wanted Sam to stay, and Richie,
He's on Netflix watching Stab.
watching the Stab movies, getting caught up, baby. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Is he getting caught up?
Well, I guess we'll find out when we talk about that later, won't we, Justin? Anyway, so eventually Sam goes to wash her hands or something, and then this is the part that threw me the first time I watched it, and I thought it was kind of goofy, but then I realized that Scream's always been kind of goofy, so I bought into it pretty quick. And Sam looks up in the mirror, and fucking Billy Loomis is behind her, and he's all like, hey, yeah, basically in more or less words, you find out that Billy Loomis is her illegitimate father. And he's like, when are you going to tell Tara, whatever, like, this is all fucking up. Like, there's a serial killer going around. What are we going to do? And Sam's like, shut up. And then she gets a call from maybe Amber Freeman. And you'd think, oh, that's a clue. That means Amber's Ghostface. But no, Ghostface cloned her phone. So
Yeah, because it's so easy to do.
Yeah, it's super easy to do, apparently. Everybody does it. Just like the voice changer in Scream 3. Everybody's got one of those. So, Sam fights off Ghostface because he shows up in the hospital. And then, everything goes from there. She goes to talk to Tara, tells Tara basically what happened, that she found out through her mom's diary that she's Billy Loomis's daughter. And all that fuck shit happens. And then Tara tells Sam to get out because Tara's still a little mad that Sam abandoned her once she started acting out after she found out that Billy Loomis was her dad. And then, Richie had been listening the whole time. So then her and Richie decide to talk to an expert about everything. And this is when we see my boy, my precious boy Dewey. Dewey. We see Dewey, and he's tired. He's old. He's been through it, and he's turning on the TV to watch his favorite ex-wife in real life and in the movie, Courtney Cox, and there is a funny joke that she makes where like when he lets Sam and Richie in, where she's like, what did she say? If anybody sees me with those bangs again, somebody needs to stage an intervention, which is a very clear reference to her fucking shitty hairstyle from Scream 3, which I thought was really funny. I didn't catch that the first few times I watched it, but I caught it this time. I was like, that's pretty good. But anyway, yeah, so Sam and Richie go there, and Dewey's like, hey, give me one reason why I should open the door. And she's like, I'm Billy Loomis's daughter. And he's like, that's a terrible reason, but you get 2 minutes. So then he basically plays Randy, gives him the rundown, and says, hey, yeah, somebody in your friend group, don't trust the love interest, and it's gonna keep happening. Like that's basically what he told her, and Sam's like, well, that fucking sucks. So eventually Dewey kicks him out, and then
it didn't even have anything to do with her being Billy's dad.
Billy's dad. She's Billy's dad.
Billy being her dad. I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, I could tell, brother. Go to sleep more.
It's hard.
Stop playing Outlast, you fucking silly man, you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, they decide to basically wrangle up all the friends to explain to them what happened. And this is where Dewey calls Sydney. Sydney's far away, living her own life, has kids. I'm assuming she's married to Mark from Scream 3.
No, she's not.
That's what you think. Who's she married to then, Justin?
Me.
I don't think that's true. Anyway, so she's like, yeah, I'll be fine. And Dewey's like, don't come back here. And she's like, don't worry, I won't. And then he just texts Gail because he can't. And it's like such a real fucking moment where he's like, all right, Dwight, come on. And then he just says, Ghostface is back, don't come. And then he's like, hope you're doing well with a fucking smiley face. And I'm like, my boy. But Sydney also mentions to him, like, I'm glad that they have you to protect them. So then that's when Dewey suits up one last time. Unfortunately, actually one last time. We'll get to that. But he gets his gun, he gets his shit. And then when Sam and Richie get to Mindy and Chad's place, because they're twins, I forgot to mention that, Dewey pulls up and he's like, I'm going to help you. I gotta. So here's where we get the real Randy part, pretty much, because Mindy and Chad are the niece and nephew of Randy, because Randy's sister, who was in Scream 3 for a little bit, is their mother. So, so they all get together and, they're all chatting it up a bit. And they mentioned the last Stab movie, which would have been Stab 8. And then Liv is like, oh, that was directed by the Knives Out guy, right? Which I think is a very funny joke because that's an obvious reference to The Last Jedi, which is directed by Rian Johnson, who directed Knives Out. And everybody hates it. And that's like the point, is that Stab 8 is so bad, everybody fucking hates it. Because it changed everything or whatever. And so basically, Dewey's there kind of for support. And I like the bit where Randy's sister comes in and she's like, ooh, suspects. And I'm just like, yeah, you already know what it is. You already know what's going on. But then this is where Mindy starts to be like, oh, he's doing a requel. And then that's when she explains what a requel is, because you can't just make a remake anymore. Now you got it, and you can't just make a sequel. Now you have to do a requel where you have new characters, and then you bring back the established legacy characters like Dewey. And then we get probably my favorite line read in the movie, which is Melissa Barrera saying, so you're telling me I'm in the middle of fan fucking fiction? And she's like, well, you're not just in the middle of it, you're the star. Like, you're the main one, and it kind of makes perfect requel sense for you to be the killer. And then Sam's just like, fuck this, and she leaves. She's driving off, and this is when the ghost of Billy Loomis comes back, the little PTSD vision she's having. And he's all like, hey, there's a killer. He's going to kill everybody. We need to cut some throats, girl. Like, we need to do something. This isn't... we got to do something. Like, own up to your fucking bloodline. And, then that all happens. And then this is, I think, where I forgot to mention that Wes's mom is Judy from Scream 4.
Yeah, and that she's dead, too, by this point.
Is she?
Yeah, her and Wes are both dead.
Yeah, because she's driving. So that's the part I forgot to mention. Judy's going to get some Japanese food. Classic Judy behavior, honestly. And then she gets a call from Ghostface. And then, she circles back because Ghostface is like, oh, I'm going to kill Wes because he's in the shower, like Psycho. And then she gets back there. Obvious bait. You think a cop would know better. She doesn't. She gets back there. Ghostface fucks her up. Stabs her a few good times. And then he goes inside.
In broad daylight.
Fucking broad daylight, too. That shit's insane. But then we get a sequence I like a lot where Wes gets out of the shower, and there's like all these very obvious setups for jump scares, and the music even starts rising a little bit, and then a jump scare doesn't happen. And they keep doing that for a solid 5 minutes. And then eventually he goes to the front door because he thought he heard somebody come in. And then when he turns around, he sees Ghostface. Ghostface overpowers him and stabs him through the neck, through the throat.
All the way through.
All the way through, and you see it come out. That shit is gross. And that was a practical effect, too. That was a practical-ass effect. Fuck yeah, dude. I love me some practical effects. And then Wes dies. And then, Sam gets there, and Gail also gets there. And this is where she's back. And then
Gail be like, I'm going to be flashing this tail some more.
Well, I don't know if she did that. But she got there, and then Dewey... And then her and Dewey have a very real conversation, a very real moment that hurt me a little bit. It still hurts me every time I watch it, where they pretty much, talk about their breakup and everything. Apparently, Dewey had tried to move to the city with her, and he couldn't cut it, so he just went back to Woodsboro, and he just fell into the bottle, stopped being a sheriff. And that's why Judy became sheriff former sheriff. So, that's why that all happened. And my boy, there's some real shit going on in that scene. That's what I think I like about it so much. Because apparently they did 2 or 3 takes on it. And when they did the first take, I think Courtney Cox turned to radio silence, and she was just like, hey, that one was for us. She's like, we can do the actual take now. We just had to find it again. So then they did the take, and that's what we ended up getting in the movie. So I also forgot to mention Radio Silence directed this one. They did Ready or Not, and they are very clearly big fans of the original, which is what you love to see, just like David Gordon Green with Halloween. Very obviously a big fan of the original. So that's what I like. Is when it's a big fan of the original franchise taking over and doing it in a way that makes sense, right?
Yep.
So that's what happens here with Radio Silence. And eventually, is this the bit where Richie's watching dead meat, basically, and eating the Pizza Hut?
I think so.
So, because that shit caught me off guard, too, when Richie's just eating Pizza Hut, just watching videos on Stab 8, and it's just fucking dead meat. Basically, I think their channel
film fails,
but it's just James and Chelsea from Dead Meat, and that's really funny to me that they're in there. But they're in there,
and then that's also where you get clarity that blonde chick from the other one survived.
That Kirby didn't die. Yeah, Kirby made it out.
The name you should know. She's not the star of the show. But
I'm
she's probably got maximum pink.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you, Justin. I'm gonna kill him.
I had to.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm telling you. But anyway, so, at some point, they decide they're gonna go get Tara or check on her or whatever.
Because Beast Boy won't stop calling.
You say Beast Boy?
Yeah.
Who the fuck? What do you mean, Beast Boy?
Teen Titans.
That's not Beast Boy.
You know, I'm just making a dumb joke.
I'm gonna kill you. I don't know what joke you're making. I don't get it.
Because Beast Boy loved Tara in that show.
Oh.
And then she turned into a rock.
Uh,
And then disappeared. And then when he found her again, she was like, I don't know who you are, bye.
she turned into a rock.
And that's
She
how
did.
this show ended.
That's, you know what? I don't remember that, but I'll take your word for it. That's why I didn't get the joke. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But anyway, so Tara ends up getting attacked at the hospital, fighting her ass off. And Richie shows up to help her, but he gets cut in the arm, a la Scream 2. So then Tara's doing her thing, getting away. And then Richie's phone rings, and it's Sam. And then Ghostface picks up. He has the voice changer in his suit. And he clicks the little button, a little Splinter Cell noise happens. And then he starts talking shit, basically.
What an asshole.
And so basically Sam just stalls for time at this point. Her and Dewey arrive. Dewey takes a couple shots. Ghostface fucks off. Sam gets Tara, Dewey gets Richie, and then Dewey gets attacked, struggles with Ghostface for a bit, says not today, is able to overpower and shoots Ghostface, I don't know, about 4 or 5 times. And Ghostface goes down. Doesn't shoot him in the head, but then they get to the elevator. And Dewey's like, oh, fuck, I got to shoot him in the head. He's like, I got to shoot him in the head. And Sam's like, who the fuck cares? Let's just go. And Dewey's like, no. He's like, I care. So then he, reloads his gun, goes and gets ready to execute Ghostface. Then his phone rings, and it's Gale. He looks down. Ghostface gets up, stabs him right in the stomach, stabs him in the back, says, yes, today. And then he kills my boy. Kills my boy in a very rough way. And then says it's an honor, and then just, which I think is hard as fuck, by the way. Like that's like, I don't know. A lot of I've found throughout my time on the internet, people really don't like it when characters they like die, even if it happens in a way that makes sense to the character. They hate it. They didn't like it when Joel died. They didn't like it when Luke died in Last Jedi. They just don't like it when a character dies, and I think that's goofy. But, because that happened with Scream 5, obviously. Everybody's like, why'd they kill Dewey? Well, I mean, Mindy already said you have to have stakes.
Yep.
Like, legacy characters are at a greater risk because you have to have those stakes. And Dewey dies in a way that makes sense because Dewey, at this point, has been kind of a fuck-up, and especially post, Scream 4, he's been a little bit of a fuck-up. So this is like, no, I'm going to end it now. And then, he gets got. And it makes me sad every time because I love Dewey. But Ghostface saying it's an honor is, like, one of the, like... That makes it one of the most memorable kills, I think, in the franchise, without a doubt. Not just because it's Dewey, but just the circumstances of it and all that stuff. I know when Radio Silence thought of that shit, they were like, this is going to be good. So, apparently, in the behind the scenes, Nev and Courtney Cox tried to convince Radio Silence to not do that. They were like, you can't kill Dewey. That's not. And David Arquette was kind of just like, I mean, he's like, it's a job, it sucks, but if that's what it says in the script, it's what we have to do. So Radio Silence shot like a little bit of an alternate take where Dewey survives, but they had like no intention of using it because they knew they knew the story they wanted to tell. Because they said that's the only way we could have it make sense for Sydney to come back to Woodsboro is if Dewey died. Like that's the only way that would work. And props to them for not compromising their original ideas. You know what I mean? So But that does get Sydney to come back. Gail is obviously pretty upset about it. Sam tries to console her, and Gail's just kind of like, go be with your sister, whatever. Sydney shows up, and so Sydney and Gail try to talk to Sam. Sam's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm getting Tara out of here. Like, we're going home. Like, I'm taking her to Modesto or wherever the fuck she's from. She's like, I'm not doing this. And Sydney's just like, listen, he's going to keep coming for you. Like, that's just how this works. She's like, I've been through this a lot. Like, I know how this goes. And Sam's like, I don't care. We're just getting out of here. So then, while they're leaving, they remember Tara's like, I don't have my spare inhaler. Oh, no. I left it at Amber's house. So this part is one of my favorite parts, too. So then, I just really like this movie. So then, Amber's having a house party, kind of like an in memoriam thing for Wes.
Which is also a tribute to the real Wes.
To the real Wes Craven. Apparently, like, the For Wes toast has, like, Ryan Johnson's in there. Kirby from Scream 4's in there. Matthew Lillard's in there. Everybody's in there. Like, there's a lot of fucking, like, people that worked with Wes Craven that are in that to Wes, toast. And so that's pretty much what happens there. Some tomfoolery happens with people. You don't know who the killer is. Amber goes down to the basement. Mindy follows her. They have a little moment where Mindy's like, I'm the killer. And then Amber kind of looks at her, and Mindy's like, I'm not actually, but let this be a lesson to not fucking go off by yourself, right? And then, so then that happens. Liv gets mad at Chad because Chad doesn't trust her, completely. Because he's like, you might be the killer. Ooh, and then she gets mad, and then and Chad eventually goes out to look for her, and he gets fucked up really bad by Ghostface, right around the time that Sam and Richie show up, actually. But he gets fucked up by Ghostface because the whole movie he'd been trying, at the beginning of the movie he had mentioned that he wanted her to get, like, this app to, like, so that way he could know where she's at all times, which is kind of bad, but also whatever. So he gets an invitation to that, thinks he's going to see Liv, but he finds Ghostface instead, and Ghostface stabs him in the leg. And then there's the bit where he's running away from him, and Ghostface catches up to him and just fucking one stab, and then quick. And I'm just like, holy shit. Like, god damn. Like that, like I remember watching that shit for the first time. I was like, oh my god, dude, that sucks. But then Richie and Sam show up, so Ghostface fucks off, which is probably the only reason that Chad ends up surviving. Because he's the new Dewey. So, Sam and Richie show up, and, Amber's like, yeah, I got the inhaler up in my room. Party's over, whatever. Everybody leaves. And it's at this point where Gail and Sydney are on the way to Sam's location because Sydney had put a tracker on her car. Because that's just how Sydney rolls these days. Love Sydney, but she's
like Lori with more money.
She really is, isn't she? Yeah, she really is. But yeah. So it's at this point where they realize, oh fuck, like she's going to that house, and I was like, what are they talking about? So then she calls Sam. And she's like, Sam, you got to get out of the house now. You're in Stu Macher's house. And then when the camera panned out and showed the house, I was like, how the fuck did I not see that before? Like, what the fuck? I was like, that's crazy. So basically, it was all a trap to get Act 3 to start. So what happens is Sydney and Gail are almost there. More tomfoolery happens. Liv shows up. Or is this the part where, yeah. So what happens is Mindy is watching Stab on the TV, and it's the scene where Jamie Kennedy, who's playing Randy, is like, no, Jamie, turn around because he's watching Halloween. And Mindy's in the exact same scenario with Ghostface popping up behind him and everything, or behind her and everything. And then she's like, look behind you. And then she realizes, like, oh, fuck, that's one of the rules. She turns around. It's Ghostface. They struggle. Sam hears that, goes in, and Mindy's, like, covered in blood and shit. And, Tara's there. Tara's with Amber. And then Amber comes and she's like, what'd you do? And then she's like, oh, I didn't do anything. And then Liv is like, oh, I'm covered in blood because I found Chad, whatever. And then Richie shows up and he's like, what the fuck's going on? So then we get, like, a lot of chaos going on. And we get probably the best killer reveal in the whole franchise here, which is where Liv is like, I'm not the fucking killer, and Amber's just like, I know, and she fucking domes her right there, and I was just like, holy shit! I was like, fuck! It's probably my favorite killer reveal.
But I called Amber being the killer, like, immediately.
I mean, yeah, it was kind of obvious, but, like, the reveal is so good, dude. Yeah. Like, that shit shook me up. I was like, holy fuck. I didn't think that's how it was going to happen. And then she's like, welcome to Act 3. And then Sydney and Gale show up. Amber comes out of the house pretending to be hurt. Sydney and Gale look at each other. They're like, what do you think? Gale's like, nuh-uh. And then Amber's like, fuck this. Shoots Gale in the same spot she got shot in Scream 2. Can't catch a break. And then Gale's like, no, we're finishing this. Come on, let's go. So then they go in. Sydney enters the house. Gets a call from Ghostface, the other killer. And, she's, at this point, she's fucking tired of these calls. So she's just like, oh, yeah, how original. I've seen this movie before, though. Which is kind of like, it feels like an audience surrogate because, like, we've seen this movie before. Like, it's just Scream, right? Like, and she's, like, shooting through doorways while it's happening. And my favorite bit is when Ghostface is trying to monologue, and she's like, I'm bored, I'm hanging up. And then you just hear Ghostface go, no, wait. And she just hangs up, shoots Richie in the leg because she's shooting through the doors. And then Ghostface shows up, pushes Sydney over the banister. And Sydney's like, Richie, get the gun. And then Sam comes and gets the gun. Mind you, I think at this point, Sam had found Richie. Or no, Richie and Sam ducked out after Amber killed Liv. And Sam's like, I'm going to go get Tara. And Richie's like, she could be the killer, though. So then you have this moment where she's going to untie Tara, but she, like, hesitates because she doesn't know. And you don't see what happens. But anyway, Sam comes back, gets the gun. And Richie's like, oh, I'm so glad you're alive. And then Richie stabs her in the side. And then he's like, because I really wanted to be the one that killed you. Now, I already knew Jack Quaid was Ghostface because I watched Red Letter Media's Best of the Worst when it came out. And the way Mike introduced him was he's like, we got Jack Quaid, who's going to be in Oppenheimer. And also, he's Ghostface in the new Scream. And then Jack Quaid kind of looks around and he's like, can we say that? Like, he was cautious because it's like, that's a huge spoiler. And it's just like, so I already knew Jack Quaid was going to be Ghostface. But he stabs her. And then that's when the real Act 3 starts. You find out Amber and Richie are buddies, little fuck buddies, whatever. And that's when they all get led to the kitchen, just like in Scream 1, to have that little moment. And Richie's like, the last stab fucking sucked. And, the best stab is a stab that's based on actual events, so we're making our own stab 8. And then that's when Richie kind of goes off the deep end, and he's, like, talking about how can fandom be toxic? And I was talking with Justin a little bit, because this movie inadvertently predicted the fan reaction to Halloween Ends in a way I did not expect it to. And that's part of the reason why I ended up liking Halloween Ends on Revisit, because I was like, I don't want to be like that, I don't want to be like that where I'm like, oh, it's fucking bad because it's not what I wanted. No, it's fine. You just have to let it sit and understand that, like, the old movie still exists, right? So, but it 100% predicted, like, that backlash of well, how can they do this? Like, these are stories that are important to us, and why are they, what are they, like basically, like, every Star Wars fan after Last Jedi, every Halloween fan after Halloween Ends, it's that same fucking tired argument you've heard. And, like, Amber's like, yeah, we met on a message board, and we found we had similar ideas, and we just wanted to make our own stab sequel. And having, like, the daughter of Billy Loomis, that's perfect, And so then Richie's like, hey, Amber, go get Tara. And then she's like, I can't find Tara. And then the phone starts ringing and scares Randy a bit. And Sam's like, that's for you. And he's like, yeah, whatever. So then Amber and Tara start fighting because Tara pops up and starts beating the shit out of Amber with a fucking crutch. And then I can't remember how it all kicks off, but I don't remember, like, what happens to Richie. I think Sam and Richie struggle, and Richie's like, fuck, like, just, I remember Sam bites his arm wound.
Yeah,
I remember that. And then she runs off. I think she takes the gun and runs off. I don't remember. I think that's what happens. She takes the gun and runs off. And Or no, he drops the gun and then she runs off and Richie goes after her, I think, is what happens. But then Amber comes back into the kitchen and we get, like, Sydney and Gale start giving her a beat down, basically. But then, you know, Amber's like, no, wait, I was radicalized. Like, no, don't hurt me. Like, it's the message boards. I just wanted some attention. I just wanted some friends. Please don't hurt me. And then, like, Gale is like, you killed my best friend, and then Amber's like, yeah, and he died like a fucking pussy, and then, you know, that's when that whole thing happens, and then, you know, Amber overpowers Gale, and she's choking her out, and she's like, I can't believe I get to kill you both, and then Sydney, who's been stabbed at this point, I forgot to mention that, basically kicks Amber up, or like, I think throws Amber or something, and Amber ends up in front of a stove. She turns it on because she's stupid, and she's been doused in hand sanitizer already. And then Sydney gives the gun to Gale and shoots Amber until Amber falls into the stove, gets set on fire, which is a very funny thing to happen to her. If you've seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that is a very funny thing. I was dying laughing because I was like, holy shit, that's how she dies in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I was like, oh my God. So that happens. It's great. And then she just burns to death, and then Gale makes a pun because it's Scream. And then at this point, Sam and Richie are fighting elsewhere. Richie's like kind of monologuing on her again. And Sam's crawling towards a knife because she sees in a reflection, she sees Billy. And Billy kind of points to the knife, and he's like, come on, you know, you got to do it. And, you know, the whole idea was to make Sam look like the villain, where, oh, she's Billy Loomis's daughter, she goes crazy, kills everybody because Sydney killed your dad, whatever.
Yeah.
But he's like, you can't break the rules, you know, it's whatever. And then Melissa, Sam is just like, well, I'm introducing a new rule. And then she's like, don't fuck with the daughter of a serial killer. Stabs him through the fucking cheek. And then he goes to, now you got it. Okay, when this happened, when I first watched it, I was like hooping and hollering because I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Because Sam gets on top of Richie and just starts fucking stabbing the shit out of him.
Like 21 times.
She fucks him up. Hey, George, I know, baby. Come on.
Hey, we both got allergies, George. Yay.
Stop coughing, baby. Stop coughing. It's okay. But yeah, it stabs the fuck out of Richie. And then Richie's like, well, what about my ending? And then she's just like, here it comes. And then she just fucking slits his throat. And I was just like, oh. And then she does the fucking blade wipe. And I was like, ah! I was like, holy shit! I was like, that's so good, dude.
Now they need a remake Halloween 4 and do it like that.
Yeah, right? So that all happens. And it's just, and that's like super satisfying to me. And then Sydney and Gale come in, and they just see this fucking mangled body, and Sydney's like, "Watch out, they always come back." And Sam just takes the gun and just shoots Richie like 4 more times, blows his brains out, literally. And then Sydney's just like, "All right." And then that's when Amber comes back, and then she gets domed by Tara. And Tara says, I still prefer the Babadook. Terrible thing to say, but, you know.
It's a good movie.
Whatever, I forgive it. But it's kind of a corny line. But again, it's Scream. It's whatever. And then, you know, we get the aftermath. Everybody, Mindy and Chad are alive. Sam kind of begins to accept who she is. And she moves on. And then that's how Scream 5 ends. And I really fucking like it. I really like Scream 5 a lot. Just in talking about it, it's... what a good movie. But yeah, so that's the story. So you know what it's time for now. It's time for reviews, isn't it, Justin?
Yep.
Isn't it? Critical response. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 76%. Critical consensus says the 5th Scream finds the franchise working harder than ever to maintain its meta edge and succeeding surprisingly often. I pretty much agree with that. Now, let's look at them 1-star reviews, huh? On motherfucking IMDb.
IMDb.
I don't think you are. I don't know who is. Who is it? Is it me? Is it you? Is it me in a suit? Let me
No,
see.
it's Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom.
Yeah, and that's something. I guess it's a certified sidetrack segment time. Yeah, that was so. My friend texted me, and he said, "Did you see who they got to play Doctor Doom?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Take a guess." He's like, "You're never gonna guess it." And I guessed like Adam Driver or some shit. And then when I realized he wasn't gonna tell me who it was, I looked it up. I found out through a fucking meme, where it's that picture of Robert Downey Jr. You know, the one where he's just like, or he's like doing that, and it just says the Fantastic Four are outside of my home. And I was like, no way. Then I keep scrolling and I see it. I was like, what the fuck? Excuse me? And I was like, I still don't know how to feel about it. Like,
I'm fine with it.
I mean, it just, I guess my worry is that he's not going to be Victor Von Doom. He's going to be a Tony Stark variant. Which has happened before in the comics, I think.
It has.
But it still just kind of feels, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. It's funny
trying to stick to the Kang story, but changing it a little bit.
It's funny because somebody said, "Hey, just be happy they didn't make him come back as Kang," and they put his picture of him from Tropic Thunder, and I was like, that would be very funny, so I don't really know how I feel about it. I'll see a trailer and I'll go from there.
Yeah, since we're robbed of Jonathan Majors,
Since we're robbed of what?
the Kang.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What was that one gonna be called? Kang Dynasty.
Uh-huh.
And that sucks because again, Jonathan Majors was really fucking good in Quantumania. And
Like that whole part where he's trying to get Ant-Man to talk and he's torturing his daughter.
Yeah. Dude, like,
I'm
terrifying.
just gonna crush her head against the wall.
Terrifying, dude. Turns out he had experience with that. But anyway, so, like, real life experience. But anyway. So, yeah, that happened. And that was, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But, so the reason we couldn't record last week is I was out of town. I went to Austin to go to a classic games festival where I bought a lot of games, retro games. I bought a lot of PS2 stuff, and then I think I bought like Star Fox Adventures on GameCube, and
Nice.
I think I got and it was $35, which is a very good price for that game. When I see the game over, it's like 60 plus. So I was like, fuck yeah. Oh, I also got Splatterhouse on PS3, which is one of the glitchiest games I've ever played in my life, which is saying something for the PS3, but it is very glitchy. Yeah, so I did that. The day after, I came back home, and I saw Mastodon and Lamb of God, which was a show that I was going to take Justin to if the flaky friend that I went with had flaked, but he didn't. So Justin had to miss out on that, which made me a little sad if I'm being honest. But so it was Mastodon playing the entirety of Leviathan, and it was Lamb of God playing the entirety of Ashes of the Wake, which is my favorite Lamb of God record. So, okay, so the first band comes on. It's a band called Malevolence. They're from the UK. I couldn't take him seriously because every time he tried to talk normally, he just sounded like an Englishman, and it threw me off. But they're a hardcore band, whatever. Next band was Kerry King doing his solo thing. The best thing about it was Paul Bostuff was on the drums, and I like him as a drummer. So, but it was one of those things where it's like, I'm like, I don't really give a fuck about Kerry King. But then he came out, and I was like, this kind of feels monumental. Like Kerry King is like maybe 20 feet in front of me right now, and that's kind of cool. Like that's kind of a cool thing to see him there, right? So, and then they played Raining Blood, and I got a little excited. I got the mosh pit found me, and I got a little excited. And then Mastodon played entirety of Leviathan. They're good as always. They started with Blood and Thunder. That was awesome because that's the first track on the record. Played the whole album. It was cool. And then Lamb of God came on. And I can't tell you, Justin, how fucking excited I was to finally see Lamb of God. And not just see them, but see them play my favorite album in its entirety. I was like, holy shit. Dude, they started with Laid to Rest. Just boom. And I was like, all right. Because everybody came out except Randy. And then Randy came out, and he's like, Houston! And I'm just like, woo! And so then he did the that he's like, there was a single day I could live, whatever. I'm already screaming out the words, and I'm yelling like every word, dude. And when he gets to the and to see who gives a fuck, I don't think I've jumped that high since when we saw Lionheart and they did break stuff. Like, I jumped really fucking high. And I was just like, yeah! Like, I was so happy, dude. And then they played the whole fucking album. It was really awesome. They finished with Redneck as an encore, which was also really cool. And I got into the circle pit for Redneck, and I was just running around pushing people and shit. And then when the show was over, I was sore. I'd gotten hit in the chest, elbowed in the chest. I'd gotten kicked in the ribs. And I was like, I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm going to go home and I'm going to sleep. And I'm going to feel great. And sure enough, I did, man. It was a really good time. Man, what a show. I'm definitely seeing them when they come through again because they put on a good show. The only thing I didn't like is their drummer was a little sloppy. Just a little sloppy. And I don't know if that's just because, he doesn't really play the Ashes of the Wake stuff that often. But he was a little sloppy on some of the songs, just a little bit. But I mean, overall, it was still like a really amazing show. I'm so happy I got to see them live. And yeah, that's pretty much where I've been. I don't think I really watched anything new. I think I already talked about Longlegs. So, but I'd be thriving and vibing.
I watched Tomb Raider again.
Which one?
With Angelina Jolie.
Why?
What do you mean, why? That movie's fine.
Yeah, I know, but I'm asking you, why did you watch it again?
I was bored.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I haven't seen this in a while.
Did I?
It's just the way she looks in some shots is like, it's not fair.
Yeah, well. I watched When Evil Lurks over the past couple weeks, which is a really fucked up Spanish movie. Very good. Very good, but man, that movie was fucked. And then I watched a French movie I watched another French movie. And then I watched Pearl, which I liked way more than X. Pearl was real good. And then I saw Twisters because it was a fun popcorn movie. And Daisy Edgar Jones is very pretty. So I watched Twisters. And it was Twisters. I don't know how memorable it's going to be, but I had fun in the theater, so that's all that matters.
No.
But, yeah, and then what did you do this past couple weeks, Justin, besides sleep?
Nothing, really.
Apparently you didn't sleep enough because you're tired today.
Yeah, and allergies. Even though I took allergy medicine.
Look at this dude taking allergy medicine.
It doesn't work. I haven't done much. I just been playing games.
Nice.
That stupid Destiny grind. And I already burned myself out by going from rank 10 to 91 on the season pass in one day.
Oh my god. How the fuck do you have the patience for that?
And then trying to do some more prepping for Warcraft before the next expansion next month.
Warcraft?
Yeah.
More like bad game.
It's not bad.
More like bad game.
It's not bad.
More like bad game.
And then I'm playing through Kingdom Hearts again.
Ew.
What do you mean, ew? That game is amazing.
Ew, dude. You're the second friend I have that's playing through fucking Kingdom Hearts.
It's good. The combat is great.
I don't believe you.
Except when you're forced into certain combat situations. Like in the fucking Little Mermaid world where you have to be a mermaid. So all your mobility is gone.
Yeah, then be a mermaid. Give them a little smooch and they'll die.
If only it were that easy.
I'm sure it is. I think you're just bad at it, probably.
No.
I've never played Kingdom Hearts, so I don't know.
It's hard.
I didn't have a PS2 back in the day. I had a GameCube and an Xbox. And, yeah.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
Scream.
Oh, yeah, the reviews.
Yeah. Justin looks like he's going to fall asleep, dude. He be sleeping. He be sleeping and creeping and peeping, you know? Just like Bill Nye.
The science guy. The only thing that taught me more than school did.
Yeah, well, too bad he died in that hot air balloon accident.
Yep.
Crappy, Ridiculous meta-nostalgic waste of brain cells.
Jesus.
A terrible sequel. Requel. A terrible standalone. A terrible cheap hit on the nostalgia string. And a terrible meta movie. What kind of a killer that moves in his costume in a hospital, kills in plain sight and daylight? 2 weeks.
That moves in his costume in a hospital?
2 week to get repeatedly hit by slender girls, yet too strong to overpower strong men.
One of them was a slender girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Now it makes more sense as to why Tara was kicking her ass.
And even kill one firearmed deputy while hit with 4 bullets in the chest. Okay, but you saw she was wearing a vest. So,
This
whatever.
guy doesn't live in the real world.
What kind of a stab survivor shoots the serial killer in the chest and doesn't even care to go see his face? Neither does any of his companions, yet he delivers other victims to the elevator and walks back dramatically because he just remembers you always have to shoot them in the head. Stop wasting our time. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's where people are like, well, that doesn't make sense for Dewey to go out like that. I'm like, did you watch the other movies where Dewey is just Dewey? Like, there's a reason his parody version in Scary Movie was Doofy. Like, that's because that's kind of his character. Like,
Until it was revealed that he was the killer in that.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be yawning, brother. Let me tell you what. So yeah, that's the first review. Like Madonna's career, the Scream film should have been left in the early 2000s. Oh, we got a gay guy writing this one. A 1-star rating is generous. I am honestly finding it hard to type after watching. You will probably find more movement in Courtney Arquette's face. What?
Did he forget they got a divorce?
What? Jesus Christ.
Or did he mean to say Courtney and Arquette's face?
Yeah, I don't know. Lame. A lame and unnecessary sequel. There's absolutely nothing here worth mentioning. A generic horror film, to say the least. The new characters are generic and nothing to care about. The older characters, the ones we do care about, are barely in it. It's just not of the same caliber as the original trilogy. They should have stopped at part 3.
No.
Oh my god. Boring movie, irrational slasher movie ever.
Have you seen the others?
Really the worst Scream movie series ever been made. No logic in killing scene, no harmony in story. Just don't waste your time and don't ruin the picture of Scream movie series that you remembered. Disappointed. I absolutely love all of the Scream movies and have watched them over and over again. Was so excited about seeing this one and was majorly disappointed. It was boring, predictable. Predictable? You're going to complain about a Scream movie being predictable? And all over a pile of rubbish. You can tell that Wes Craven was not a part of this film. I gave it 1 star as it was funny in parts. Sad in other parts, but I won't be watching it again. It cannot get dumber than this. I mean, why is this even out in theaters? How did it make $77 million? Is Gen Y and Z going to watch it because they haven't watched the movies before? The narration by the killer is the ending, the same stupid mistakes. I mean, really? Stay away. I don't understand the high rating. There is no wow factor in the end. It's stupid as fuck. Have you seen the others? Like, seriously, how are so many people rating this so highly? Absolutely terrible. Luckily, this made it hilarious too, so I actually stayed in the cinema. It is just utterly ridiculous, and I genuinely can't understand how so many people are saying it's fantastic.
I hate people who say the cinema.
What a mess. Spoiler alert. What a disaster of a movie. How and when did Billy Loomis have a kid? The film doesn't even try to explain it. What does it have to explain? What do you want? Did you want like a fucking sex scene? What do you want? What the fuck? He was cheating on Sydney. It's as easy as that. Like, what?
Because Sydney didn't want no action. What more explanation do you want?
That's why it works.
You fucking moron.
Sydney didn't want to fuck him, so he was like, all right. Like, you're telling me Billy Loomis was going to stay loyal? Like, come on. Nothing about this hot mess of a film makes any sense. They made this film just to make it. Spoiler alert, brother. They make every film in Hollywood just to make it. I don't think there's any artistic integrity in Hollywood, if we're going to be real. And even if there is artistic integrity, guess what? You make films just to make them then, too. There is no rhyme or reason. It would have been... Oh, my God, I'm yawning again. Oh! It would have made for a better ending if they told us that Jamie Kennedy was actually still alive and he was the murderer. None of the kids in this movie were likable. This movie was bad. How dare you talk about Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega that way, all right? How dare you? A hot mess. This movie is more cringe and worse than all the other Scream movies combined. They really should have stopped after the first one. A boring, not scary remake with some random cast. The original characters served absolutely no purpose. So many plot holes and unrealistic situations that I just couldn't ignore. The franchise was always ripping off of other horror movies. Now it's ripping off itself. No shame. Don't waste your time on this. Hey, buddy, that's kind of the point, though. Like, that's...
It's not a ripoff. It's being satirical.
Like, these are the same people that said that Halloween 2018 ripped off the original. And it's like, yeah. What do you want from it?
Michael in space?
Like, I mean, Predators is kind of just the first movie again.
Pretty much.
But it's cool. If you like that first movie... See, that's the thing, is people hate it when it's too different. And then when it's the same, they're like, well, that's not what I wanted either. And I'm like, well, then what the fuck did you want? Like, what... Like, what do you want? Garbage in a silver bag. The lead character couldn't act even when she was stabbed. The older characters looked bored and in for the paycheck. The high ratings are paid for. That's all I cared to write, but I need to fill in more characters. What a dummy.
It sounds like he was just having a bad day.
Yeah. Like Matrix 4 represents the sinking of Hollywood. Why would you spell it Hollywood, brother?
I mean, the Matrix sunk after the first one, so...
Okay. We'll come back to that when I rewatch them, but... Because I need to rewatch them all.
I don't like the others.
You barely even like the first one, dude. So that makes sense, but... Another self-aware crap that tries to be smart and fails miserably by replicating everything we have already seen numerous times with pure cinematic boredom. The lead actress was the worst I've seen in years. The other cast was okay. Script was pure trash. No reason to see it on theaters. Your mobile will be adequate. Actually, no reason to see it at all. P.S. Only Kiss less than 18-year-old gave this movie above 7 rating. This says it all. Oh, he meant to say kids. I think this guy's a pedophile, Justin. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. This film takes place in the most deserted town in America. Someone gets killed in broad daylight after a sheriff's car turns up with sirens blaring and lights blazing, and there's no one on the street to see it. No one appears to work in the hospital overnight, leaving the killer to roam free and do what killers do. And one of the killers is obvious from the start. Despite the attempts at misdirection, the other couldn't act their way out of a paper bag. The third act is particularly hilarious as they try to act psycho. Worst of all is the dedication to Wes Craven at the end. If an energy company wired up his coffin to the grid, they'd solve the world's energy crisis due to the amount of spinning he'll be doing. I don't know about that, brother. I don't think... Do not watch this movie. It's a waste of time. Can't believe this movie scores in 7. This movie is so bad and predictable, it's more like the new Scary Movie. LOL. It's that I have to type 150 characters to get this posted. So with this, a warned person counts for 2. What a freaking bad movie. Still can't believe the movie has such a high rating. Wasting of time, 100%. It seems nobody can kill a person with a mask. He appears suddenly everywhere and kill everyone. Spending money for a fucking story is wasting money and time.
What?
The hospital is the worst part you can give. Rate 0 to this movie. Do not pay to see this. Another film hoping to cash in on a franchise. Boring. Bad characters even when the originals came in. It wasn't interesting. So bad I didn't watch the end. I had no interest in finding out who the killers are. Did I just the same movie as the others?
I don't know. Did you?
What a load of tripe. Even though I didn't expect much, I was hoping against hope that there might be something fresh to this request. Absolutely rubbish.
Hey, he's trying to steal my thing.
Regurgitated and pathetic dialogue. Poor screenplay. Terrible acting. Seriously bad. Full of cliches with nothing new to offer. Towards the end, I was like, get it over with already. Courtney looks aged and tired. You know what's crazy? People get old, dude. What the fuck? Both her and Dev have hardly anything to do. The young actors are ridiculous and sad. Overall, a huge pathetic disappointment. They should have left this alone a long time ago. But heck, if it's making money, then this won't be the last time, I'm sure. Much like all the Halloween and Friday the 13th ones. Just goes from bad to worse. Okay.
This guy just must be miserable in his life.
Okay, but Jason Goes to Hell is a good movie, okay? So don't at me.
So is Halloween 5.
Okay. No, it's not. Okay? No, it's not. Okay? It's not. It's Halloween 5 is fucking terrible. I fucking hate Halloween 5. Halloween 6 is much worse, but Halloween 5 I don't like.
5 at least has good parts. 6 doesn't. That whole chase scene with what the fuck is her name?
The girl in the leggings?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tina.
That was good, yeah.
That's good.
That was a good part.
The whole Jamie trying to escape Michael in the house was good.
Yeah. Yeah, too bad his mask looks stupid.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid ass mask. Fucking stupid ass fucking Michael Myers. Fucking stupid. Anyway, Wes Craven is rolling over in his grave. What a total shit show. They really took a big old steaming pile of shit on Wes Craven's franchise. Killing off Dewey was the proverbial nail in the coffin for any more sequels to this new Scream movie. 1 out of 10. Okay. Come on. 7 out of 10? Really? The plot is stupid and kiddish. What is going on with people who rate this movie 10? The only reason I guess is that it is a reunion, but even in that part, this title sucks. Dialogues and connections between characters are nonsense. Just go watch some Asian horror and see how it is done. And then he just says David Schwimmer. I don't.
What?
David Schwimmer with a winky face. I don't,
Okay.
All right. Go watch Tom and Jerry instead. Mockery of a somewhat watchable Scream series. Bad direction. Bad acting, except for the old ones. Characters never tend to die even after multiple stabbings and several shots, unless the so-called director tells them to when he is satisfied. Oh, never mind, the movie watchers only I as a director am fully in control and clever sort of ambience. I think the ones who give big star ratings to this movie are same. The movie director, I am clever and I know everything kind of shit. Dude, what the fuck? This is the trashy sequel Scream films poked fun of and became. This film was utterly pointless, plotless, and more woke.
You lost me already.
There it is. There it is!
I was waiting
Gender,
for that to come.
more woke gender BS. All the men die and all the women live. What?
That guy's gonna hurt something stretching that much.
Brother, the most memorable kill in the movie is a fucking woman. 2 of the most memorable kills in the movie are fucking women. 3 of the most memorable kills in the movie are fucking women. Judy, Liv, and fucking Amber. What are you on? What the fuck?
This guy must think Alien's the worst movie ever because she survives and all the guys don't.
This is not Scream. Dude, it totally fucking is. What? Wes would be rolling over in his grave. Okay. Weak and not scary. Pretty disappointed. The cast is not that all convincing, and at least one antagonist is pretty easy to identify. The return of the fans' favorite characters does not bring much Dewey accepted. The homage, the meta aspect, I get that, but it feels forced. The overall progression is not really mesmerizing. We see some of Tara's friends at the beginning, and won't see them again before the final act. We easily identify the antagonist's sex. Check the height of a ghost face. We can barely explain how one of the guys get trapped via the location sharing. How did the killer get the GF's phone? All in all, this movie has a lazy writing and the shooting pretty much not imaginative.
The shooting pretty much is not imaginative.
Awful, boring rehash. Don't get why this film has so many high reviews. It's predictable, badly acted, badly written, and tries to get by solely on references to the early movies. Another pointless sequel. Wow. Scream joins the trash heap of millennial garbage. Yet another creatively bankrupt movie vomited out by Hollywood. We have seen it happen a million times at this point. They take a franchise and immediately disrespect older characters in favor of the new cast who have zero positive character traits to the point you start rooting for the bad guys. They have to destroy what came before because this new stuff is simply trash. If you enjoyed the previous films for the campy fun intention, then leave this one well alone because it has neither. They killed both along with the cast. Okay. All right. What the fuck? This is nothing more than a straight up attack against you. Oh, dude, you're just proving the point of the movie. You're just proving the point of the movie, brother. If you're a fan of anything, especially horror movies, this is an attack against you. They take a crap on everything that is not only fandom, but on horror movies in general. Bro, if you identified with Richie's idea of fandom, I got bad news for you. I got really bad news for you, dude. That is depressing to read. Wow. They give you the middle finger because you want to see something worth paying your hard-earned dollars to see, but they don't care about that. They care about the message. That is all that is relevant in this movie. Oh, brother.
What was the message in this movie?
I can't wait for him to tell us because I guarantee you it's not going to be what we know it is. The slap together story makes no sense. None. During this film, they attempt to be meta but comes off as lame and cheap, let alone the fact that they're constantly either digging at the original or horror movies in general. Did you not see the first movie? What? With the first movie, they take all the tropes of the prior movies and try to either match them or smash them. They try to throw twists that are seen from the start. It's terrible writing, and worse yet, the survival rate of this horror is nothing of actual horror movies. Most everyone survives. The littlest girls are tougher than most men I know. Meanwhile, they just hate on either the prior movies or hate on you, a fan. The people who made this are straight out attacking you with within the dialogue and story, meanwhile propping up their own message ideals while at the same time drawing nothing of sensibilities or reality. An example, how does someone take a kick to a recently broken leg and a kick to a stomach that's been stabbed and stay standing? Dude, that's been happening since the... What are you on, dude? What are you on? How the fuck...
I mean, there are people who get stabbed and keep fighting, so...
This reminds me, in The Punisher with Thomas Jane, there's that part where he stabs the Russian. He actually stabbed him with a knife because he grabbed the wrong knife. So he actually stabbed the Russian, and this dude just fucking straight faces the whole thing and just picks Thomas Jane up and acts out the rest of the scene. And that is insane. People can get stabbed and tank it, brother. They've been doing it since, like, Scream 2. I don't know... Because she's a tough female and can take it. That's what his next line was. Meanwhile, to say there is no adults minus the original fan service characters. They disrespect everything that built this movie to be a franchise. Then to dedicate it to Wes was an insult. They seriously insult the fans of Wes. They insult his work. They insult fans in general simply because you love it. Meanwhile, they're happy to profit from it. Don't watch this. It's a piss on everything, including the audience. Go to therapy, dude. I don't know. Absolute trash cash grab. When you take into account the lack of originality needed for a reboot or requel, and then add on to the horrible screenplay, dialogue, implausible plot, and B-list celebrity cast, this movie is just an insult to the original and makes me want to go Ghostface on the director and writer. Wow. Again, proving the point of the movie, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. These guys are... People. These guys are goofy, dude. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. This is the worst acting I have ever seen. Even my kids who are Scream nuts hated this. Another Hollywood quick make anything for a buck. The storyline is not great and unbelievable. I don't think I will watch another Scream again, especially if Courtney Cox is in it. It seems someone hit her with the lemon stick and forgot how to act. What does that mean? What? How old are you? What does that mean?
The lemon stick.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck?
Oh, people. Why?
Bad poop movie. Extremely cliche, super boring, bad dialogue and acting. This movie hurts to watch. The acting was extremely terrible. There were scenes meant to invoke sadness, but I couldn't empathize with the characters because the delivery was terrible. Ghostface sounded like a cartoon character every time he'd talk on the phone. It was an actual waste of time. Let me tell you something, buddy. Ghostface is Mojo Jojo. So he's always sounding like a cartoon character. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, brother. Just go to sleep. This dude wrote like, oh my God. This dude wrote literally a 13-point essay on why this movie's bad.
Too much time on your hands.
That is insane, dude. What? Just make a YouTube video at that point. Shit. Oh my God. So yeah, this is a lame, boring joke. They say the F word every other word, yawn. These new so-called actors, LOL, wow, they cannot act at all. Wasted my time on this one.
Can you act?
No, probably not. Probably not. There's a lot of one-star reviews, brother. There's a lot. Hollywood truly has ran out of ideas. Why was this made, and why is there going to be a Scream 6? I wanted to stab my own eyes out while watching this rehash nonsense. The first was a great movie, the rest are terrible. Please, for the love of God, stop making these pointless sequels. Okay.
He should have stabbed his eyes out.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, people are like really upset about this. This is more modern social engineering. I just love the diverse cast of strong females, effeminate men, the fact that everyone is addicted to pharmakia, and the cliche lazy story. Besides this being just a cash grab, it's full of social engineering. We have enough of that garbage nowadays. Avoid. What do you mean effeminate men? One of them is literally named Chad, and he's like a Chad. Like, what are you talking about? Who
was effeminate? The only one he could be talking about is Richie, but he just seems like a dorky nerd guy.
Yeah,
not effeminate.
Yeah. Oh, I think people are stupid. I love seeing shit like that. I love seeing people just be like, oh, it's woke. And I'm like, dude, go to sleep.
Once you go woke, you go broke.
Scream Diversity Edition.
Oh my God.
Trash movie with trash acting because they had to check all the race and LGBTQ boxes. There's like one lesbian moment. Like, what do you want? A trash movie, don't spend the money, watch the original. Okay. Man, people really don't like black people. I don't understand. I don't understand that. They're just like, man, there's black people in this? Oh! And I'm just like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my God. Like, come on, dude. Oh. Woke redo of classic 90s slasher. Waste of time. This film is an unadulterated abuse of the brilliant Scream series of films and uses the name in disgrace. If the 1990s and early 2000s weren't good enough, then don't try to rewrite it and make your own history. A diabolical mishmash for a potential perceived woke audience. Filmmaking for minorities is niche, so go ahead, have fun, but don't expect widespread acclaim. What the fuck, dude? Scream, the original, was made in a time where we didn't need box tickers. Rhetorical question to the directors. Oh, yeah, dude. That's right. The original Scream was made in a time where Harvey Weinstein was fucking raping women. That's so much better, dude. What are you, like, do these people even hear themselves, man? Like, what the fuck? Rhetorical question to the directors. Why try to remake a classic film with ludicrous ideals that turn the original story into a woke fairy tale with lesbianism added for fun? What a load of crap. And he censored crap because he's a pussy. So that's funny. That's very funny. That's very funny. Let me see. Fucking woke. Come on, dude. Like, oh, it was made at a time where we didn't need box stickers. Yeah, you're right, I guess. But, like, women were getting raped. So, you know, is that any better? Are you going to call Scream 3 woke because it talks about that? I doubt it, dude. I don't think you're going to do that. Let me see. Complete garbage. Somebody complaining about Dewey dying. If I could rate it a 0, I would. What Khan review? What does that mean? Like Wrath of Khan? What?
He's gonna only list the bad things and not say anything good about it.
Yeah, I guess, dude. I don't know. Had to create an account just to give it 1 star. Wow.
Wow.
You really showed them, dude. You really showed them. Oh yeah, I gotta give this a 1. Ooh, just move on with your life if you didn't like it. Like, I know we talk about movies that we don't like too, but like, I don't know.
No,
We're doing this for fun.
I understand that guy. Every time I see a Last of Us post, I gotta talk shit.
You do, and I'm telling you to stop because it's not worth it, dude.
I do it as a joke at this point.
But like, stop.
I just love the reactions people give.
But just stop.
And then it's even funnier when I tell them I'm not being serious, because they just get so defensive. You're like, oh, you're just saying that because you know you have no argument.
The plot, okay, too much woke garbage. The plot is completely predictable and could have been so much better.
And
The fact that they went out of their way to have woke ideologies ruined this entire movie for me. You don't have to force certain characters to be LGBTQ to have a good movie. This movie could have been just as bad without the LGBTQ characters. Ooh.
who was this character?
Mindy, she's a lesbian. She hooked
Oh
up
my
with that
god,
one girl,
it was
but, like,
never in your face about that with her.
It's like whatever, dude.
Like, who gives a shit?
People are so stinky, dude. I don't understand. I hope they...
Lesbians and gays existed before they had mainstream media attention.
Yeah, but now
why
they're
is
in-
it suddenly a problem?
But now they're in my movies, Justin.
They were always in your movies. They were always in your children's TV shows.
Just watch the movies, you know?
Just fucking watch the movie. Don't care about what the personal lives of these people are or what they believe and think.
More of a yawn than a scream. That's pretty good.
Unless it truly does ruin it, Acolyte.
Oh, does it? Does it, Justin?
No, that's just overall bad.
I was gonna say I know that's what people have been saying, but I don't think. Yeah, I think it's just not good. Which is funny because, like, yeah, the reaction to that's been really funny because you have people that are like, "Oh, I can't believe there's lesbians or whatever," but then at the same time, like, no, the show's just bad, dude. Just be upset about that. Like,
it's just a bad show.
like why? Like, it's just not that interesting. Like, it's got nothing to do with that shit. You're just stinky.
It had a cool fight.
It had a couple cool fights. That's the only thing I've seen is the fights, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. I'm not gonna watch it, but that looks cool. Big steaming pile. That's all he said. Big steaming pile. Big steaming pile of what? Only for fans. And he gave it a 1 out of a 10. What? Are you not a fan?
He just watched it because
He was like, yeah, I'll check this movie out. And then he was just like, wow, that was bad, actually. I didn't really like that. God, there's so many. Title is too confusing.
what?
That's pretty good.
He must have been like, is this the original, the show, or a new one?
Oh, I forgot about the show, dude. Let me see if I can find Jacob John Taylor.
No, this movie was too scary for him.
Save us, Jacob John Taylor one, please. Where are you, my friend? Where are you? Oh, I'm yawning again. That's all I ever do is fucking yawn. That's all I do. All I do. All I do. All right, well, that has been Scream.
But you don't get no ice cream.
No.
Because I'm allergic.
Are you?
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy, dude. Why?
I was born that way. I don't know.
Nice, dude. Why?
I don't know.
Okay, but why?
I don't have an answer for that.
Okay, but why?
The answer I do have for you is what the one-off will be.
Oh, no.
I already told you it's going to be slightly breaking the rule like yours did. Because it's technically not a horror movie. But when you think about it in terms of it being a true story, it is kind of fucking horrifying. And that the movie is The Ghost in the Darkness.
The Ghost in the Darkness?
And the Darkness.
Okay, buddy, hold on a second. Hold on now.
It's about 2 lions that kill for fun.
Lions?
Yeah.
Hold on.
And it really happened.
Is it like a documentary? What is this?
It's not a documentary.
You're a documentary. Oh, it's from 1996. Wow. Oh, shit. Huh. How have I never heard of this?
I've told you about it multiple times.
I don't think you did.
I did.
No, I don't think you're real, dude.
But yeah, it's a movie about 2 lions that are in this part of Africa called Savo that are just fucking destroying people for fun.
All right,
Which
let's-
the hunters realize after a while.
Awesome. I can get it on DVD for $5.
Or you can just, yeah. I don't think they ever made a Blu-ray of it.
They did.
No.
I think. Let's see. The Ghost in the Darkness. That's a good name for it, too. Very eerie. I already know what my next one's going to be, too. It's going to be another Korean movie.
Korean.
I think I already told you what it was going to be, actually.
The slit mouth woman? No, that's Japanese.
That's, yeah. Oh, cool. 1 star for extras. What extras we got? A trailer? Wow.
It's like old video games.
That's all I fucking get is a trailer? Awesome, dude.
They're like, you want behind the scenes, just go read the book the actual dude wrote about the experience.
I'll just read it on Wikipedia. Well, let me make sure that went through before I...
But yeah, you got Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas in this.
And Tom Wilkinson, R.I.P. to my boy from Michael Clayton.
Yeah, that guy.
So, yeah, that's all we got for this week, I guess. That's it. We are done. Almost done with Scream.
It has been fun.
So,
But we gotta run.
The Ghost in the Darkness. Then we got Scream 6. Then we got my one-off. And then Justin picks the next franchise.
Yay!
Finally, after like a year.
I
it
picked
feels.
Starship Troopers.
We're not doing that. I'm not watching those sequels. I don't care what you fucking tell me. I'm not doing that.
I don't like any of them.
I don't care if you're like, no, they're actually pretty good. I'm not doing that.
I couldn't make it through the second one, and only parts of the third one are watchable.
Yeah, well.
The whole religious overtone in that movie just kills it completely.
It'd be like that.
And I don't know. Maybe I'll look for a franchise that's short,
No, just pick whatever you want.
or I'll be an asshole and pick a bad franchise. You know, like Wrong Turn. Wouldn't that be great?
I won't be happy with you if you pick that. But anyway.
Or Leprechaun.
That's all we got for today. We are done with Scream 5.
Yay, I'm hungry.
One of my favorites in the franchise, for sure. And we will catch y'all next time.
Yay, hopefully not late.
When we talk about the Ghost in the Darkness, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, cool. So anyway, you know what it is. Thanks for listening. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Listen to us wherever you listen to your fucking podcasts.
Give our good episodes over 200 views, not the bad
not
ones.
Urban Legend.
Why did Urban Legends get 200 views?
Give our Martyrs episode over 200 views because that's my favorite episode we've ever done. Because Martyrs is a good movie. I love Martyrs. But, yeah. Do it up.
Yeah.
Don't forget to sleep, guys, because Justin's tired and he's stinky. Ain't that right?
Kind of.
Yeah. Yay. Tell Justin to buy a case for his phone, too.
Yeah, and make sure your cars are locked because mine got broken into last night.
Call him. I'll give you his number, okay? It's you ready? You ready for his number? Wait, hold on. Before we do that, your car got broken into?
Yeah, apparently.
That's what you get for driving a Challenger and living in the area you live in.
Yeah. Luckily, they didn't break a window, so that baffles me how they got the door open.
How did you just forget to lock it?
No, it was locked because the alarm went off.
Oh, they must have had a Slim Jim then. Yeah.
But nothing was taken out of there because I don't keep anything in my car.
Nice, dude. Nice. Maybe they were gonna try to jack it.
And they arrested him, so fuck
Oh
'em.
wow.
Haha.
Okay. Nice. Well, anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna give you Justin's number so you can tell him to get a new case. All right.
It's 832.
All right. Get ready. The number is what is it?
832.
Okay. What else?
2